Dear students, today we are going to start with the qbasic, and our new chapter is selection and looping statements in qbasics. Right? Selection statement means when we have to take decisions. Till now, whatever programs we have done, they are simple programs. We are taking input from the user, then we are doing some calculations over there. Now we are going to start with the selection statement. Selection statement means when you need to take decisions. They are called selection statements. So what are the types of the selection statement? Number one is called if-then statement. Number two, if-then-else statement. And number three is select case statement. So what is if-then statement? If-then means if I'm having a situation that I have to take decision. If then is a selection statement. If the given condition is satisfied, then the statement or the block of the statement following if is executed. Otherwise, commands are skipped and next statement in the program is executed. You have to just understand that where I have to write here condition. If my condition is true, if my condition is true, then whatever I am going to write here, this statement will work. Okay, look here, start. We have taken input from the user, then we are checking the input. If input according to our condition is true, then we are doing some calculations and stop the program. But if my condition is not true, then it is going to stop the program. Fine. Now here we are doing a program in which we are comparing if the number is less than 10, then we have to print the square of that number. So how we can do it? First, let us see how we can do this program in qbasics. So earlier what we are doing, remember rem is a statement, is a command to write it is a program to input a number. What program we are doing? We are doing a program to input a number and print its square if it is less than 10. If it is less than 10. So what is my condition? What I have to do? I have to take input from the user, any one number. Then I have to make square of that number. But what is the condition? That number should be less than 10. So for that, how can we do it? As we have to take input from the user, what we are going to write? Print, enter a number. What I have to write? One space, then enter one number. Fine. Then what we are writing? Then we are writing input and number. What number? Here we are writing any variable name. Okay, it can be A, B, C, X, Y, Z, num, whatever you want you can take. For example, I take num. Now, when I am writing these two commands, print and input in 2 lines. Now I can write the same thing in 1 line. How to do it? For that I have to write input and then write enter the number. Okay, then go out from the inverted commas, then put semicolon and write the name of the variable. Okay, so what is this in this line is same as what we are doing in these 2 lines. So you can do any one of them, there is no problem with that. Okay, so I'm just erasing the line, don't be confused. Now I got the number. Now what I have to do? I have to check here what we are doing, we are checking if the number is less than 10 or greater than 10. How we can write that? For that we have to write if then num. What I am going to compare? Num. The num is the value that user is going to write. Okay, now this num I am going to compare. If num is less than 10, then okay, you have to write like this. If num is less than 10, then enter. Now you can write the statement. This line will be right, don't worry. Then you have to write, then what is the statement? Print. I want to make square of that number. How can I make square? When I multiply the same number by itself only. So what I have to write? What is my number? Num into num. Right? Then you have to end this if statement. How to end it? And if. Got it? Now we can run this program. You can press F5 or you can go to the run and click on the start button. It's fine. Now what is written here? Enter the number. Let us put a number that is below the less than 10. So for example, I wrote here 7. Enter. Can you get the square of that number? Yes. Now let us check if the number is greater than 10, then what happened? For that, for example, I wrote 12. 12 is greater than 10. Enter. Enter. It is showing nothing because what we did, we said if the number is less than 10, then you can print this number. Okay. But we have not written anything if number is greater than 10. Okay. So what we wrote here, if number is less than 10, then you have to print this statement, okay? You have to run this statement and then add the if statement here. Now, this is my if then statement. Second statement is called if then else statement. If then else statement, if then else selection statement is used when there are two or more set of the actions to be taken based on a condition. Means we are not taking only one decision. How many decisions? More than one. There are two or more sets of action to be taken based on a condition. We have to take more actions. For that, based on a condition. So when the condition is true, the first statement, just like here, if the condition is true, one statement is executed. Fine. But if it is false, then second statement or block of the statement is executed. For example, in this program, when I run that if the number is less than 10, then print num into num. But what if the number is greater than 10? It should print something. Fine. So for that, the format is like this. If condition, if, then you have to write condition, then statement, else statement and end if. For example, in this program only, if my number is less than 10, then print this. And if my number is greater than 10? So for that I have to write else. So here I can write else, then enter, and here you can write whatever you want. For example, I can print number is greater than 10. Fine. Let us see how it will work. Now run, start. Enter a number, then enter a number. For example, I run a bigger number than 10, 12. So what is written here? Number is greater than 10. What if I am entering a number less than 10? The same thing will happen. If number is less than 10, then it is making a square. For example, I am doing a program in which I am taking an input from the number and print its square if number is less than 10. Fine. And print cube. Cube means multiply the same number 3 times by itself. Okay. Cube if it is less than, sorry, if it is greater than 10. Simple. What we have to do? Input from the user a number, make it square if the number is less than 10, and make a cube if the number is greater than 10. Okay. If number is less than 10, then make a square. Square means multiply the same number by the same number. Okay. And if I want a cube, cube means multiply the same number 2 times. For example, here if my number is less than 10, then print num into num. But else means number is greater than 10. So for that, what I have to print? Cube. How to calculate? Num into num into num. Okay. Now let us run the program. F5, you can press F5 or you can click on the start button. Now enter for example, I enter number 11. Can you get the cube of the 11? Because 11 is greater than 10. Fine. Now if I print any number that is less than 10, then what happens? Same thing. It will show the square. For example, 9. 9 is less than 10. What we get? Square of that number. So this is how we can do two statement, if statement and if else statement. Okay. If then else. So we call it if then else statement. Okay. Practice for it. I will give you some questions. And one more thing. If for example, this is only if number is less than 10, if number is greater than 10, then okay. We will do this more. Okay, I will show you more videos regarding